Hey, my name's Josh Rosenthal from Sealevel Insights and Sealevelinsights.com. Also the DSB Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts. Coming to you from Seabird Bar in Draper that I opened with a couple friends of mine, Jameel Gaskins and Asher Safink. We're talking about how to diagnose your business's problems, assuming that your business's problems are cash problems. There's no bigger problem than a cash problem, and you as a business owner have no bigger job than keeping cash in the bank. So we want to know how, before we can fix it, we want to know how to diagnose it. We need to diagnose the problem, we need to find the problem. In the last video, we looked at the profit and loss and talked about some different ways to look at your profit, to say, hey, is profitability my problem? Sometimes you can have negative profit and positive cash flow. So it's not always the problem. Maybe the answer here is going to be, we're going to see it a little bit on all the financial statements. But one diagnosis from the P&L, the simplest one is to say, hey, if profit is negative, that's a good place to start to show that you're going to have cash problems. Today I want to take a quick look at the balance sheet. A lot of different ways you can look at the balance sheet to diagnose the problems of a company. I'm going to take a look at two ratios, the current ratio and the acid test ratio. And these are just going to be a way to take a look at diagnosing, is your problem going to be related to these two things? So let's take a quick look here at the current ratio. So the current ratio, again, this also assumes that you're keeping good books. So you have to be keeping good books or you cannot diagnose your business's problems. If you're not keeping good books, you will abruptly and unforeseeably probably go out of business or go bankrupt with no notice. So you need to keep good books so you can see this stuff coming. So your current ratio just takes your current assets, which would be cash, accounts receivable, and inventory. There's some others possibly that could be mixed in there, but these are the big ones. And it divides them by your current liabilities. These are the things that you owe. So where assets are the things that you have that are either cash or you can convert them into cash, maybe in the next 30 days, 60 days. If you're a small business, there's really no guarantee that even if you have net 30 terms that you're going to get cash in 30 days after you deliver on a product. But these are the things that are going to turn into cash in the next 30 days or so. And these current liabilities are things that really are going to be due maybe even as long as the next 12 months. Current liabilities are in that window of 0 to 12 months. Point being, you're going to have to outlay the cash for the things on this list entirely within 12 months. So this could be your accounts payable, so what you owe money on. This could be really just any number of things where the bill's coming up soon. Credit cards, hopefully you're not carrying credit card bills longer than 12 months. Ideally, you're paying them off every month. That is not always possible. In fact, that's rarely possible. But in the event that you are carrying that, you're probably going to be paying it off in the next 12 months. So essentially, you just divide current assets by current liabilities, and the number that comes out, let's say your current assets are $100,000, your current liabilities are $50,000, you've got a really good current ratio of 2.0. You want to be between 1.0 and 2.0. If you're over 2.0, you have too much cash. That means maybe you lack vision, maybe you lack the risk threshold to spend the cash that you need to be spending. But if you're over 2, that tells me you've got plenty of money to cover your bills. So why aren't you spending it? Are you afraid? Does your mission of your business not compel you? Do you not have things waiting that you need to spend money on? It tells us all those sort of things. But this could also go the other way. You could have $100,000 in assets, in current assets, and $200,000. So let's say current assets here and current liabilities. Well, now you're at 0.5, and that means you're insolvent. To be insolvent means you don't have the money to keep your business open. Eventually, the people that you owe money to up here, as the accounts payable, they're going to come calling. Credit cards are going to come calling if you're not able to make your minimum payments. This just means insolvent. Below 1 means you don't have the money to pay your bills. That's an urgent red flag, obviously, and hopefully you see that coming. But if all of a sudden you've just now kept your books for the first time and you see that, that's what that means, that you're insolvent. Another thing that you want to take a look at here is everything that we've said here, but we're going to subtract inventory. So where a good current ratio is maybe let's say 1.5 to 2.0, let's say, and it's going to vary by industry. We want an acid test to take out inventory because we hope that you can sell through your inventory in the next 30 days, but maybe you're not, your practices aren't good enough to where you're turning your inventory 12 times a year. So this shows you the range of current ratio, acid test, you kind of want to be somewhere in between. So let's say if you take out inventory in this first model, you're going to be looking at, let's say you're carrying a lot of that in inventory. So now all of a sudden you're at 50,000 in current assets minus your inventory. And now you still have the same current liabilities. This puts you at an acid test ratio of 1.0. So if that means you're solvent, and that means you're not dependent on inventory to be solvent, which is a good safety net. But if all of a sudden you run this and you're below 1, again, that shows that you are potentially insolvent and you are hyper dependent on moving through your inventory in the next 30 days in order to pay your bills. So quick review, you want a current ratio of 1.0 to 2.0, and you want an acid test. I mean, you could probably exist with like a 0.9 to like a 1.3. You want to have those side by side. If you are below those, that tells me that you don't have enough cash in the bank. It doesn't matter if it's not a profitability thing. It could be a fundraising thing. Whatever it is, it's just saying I'm looking at your balance sheet, and that tells me that you're in trouble regardless of your profitability, regardless of your lean operations. And so we have to make some changes to your business. My name is Josh Rosenthal from Sealevel Insights, sealevelinsights.com. Comment below. Tell me a little bit about how you have experienced insolvency. What have you done to deal with it? Let me know. See you next time.